The Emmett Till murder trial was a painstaking experience for so many that were involved. The ugliness of the discriminatory, unspoken rules in Southern politics reared its head. But as those who knew and loved Emmett the most say, this was just the beginning of his legacy. After being acquitted of the murder of 14-year-old Emmett Till, Roy Bryant and J.W. Milam still faced kidnapping charges. September 30th, 1955, Milam and Bryant are released on bond. Kidnapping charges are still pending. In the meantime, Mose Wright and surprise witness Willie Reed leave Mississippi and are taken to Chicago. Tensions are high for everyone.
She's very fearful. I told her she had a nervous breakdown when she came back home.
November 9th, 1955. Returning to Mississippi one last time, Mose Wright and Willie Reed testify before Leflore County Grand Jury in Greenwood, Mississippi. The grand jury refuses to indict Milam or Bryant for the kidnapping. The two white men go free.
They went back for the kidnapping. That was a chaos. How can they admit kidnapping? When we turn them loose. How can you not follow up? But they had their own laws. They had their own rules.
It was understood that black people had no power. And the fact that they would have been convicted was understood then, as that would show that our way of life is no more, or we're the superior people by some law of nature, and so we get to do whatever we want with the people who don't look like us. That was just the general understanding.
I hate to think of it like that, because a life, where he died, he did more in death than he would if he had lived, I believe. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure of that.
A year after his death, Rosa Parks said, "I thought about Emmett Till, and I couldn't go back to the back of the bus." In 2004, the Department of Justice announced the reopening of the Till case, thanks to new evidence and the identification of others that might have been involved. In January of 2017, author and research scholar Timothy Tyson revealed in a 2007 interview Emmett Till's accuser, now Carolyn Bryant Donham, admitted to him that she lied about Till making advances toward her. That interview was reported in a 2017 magazine article upon the publishing of Tyson's book, The Blood of Emmett Till. Bryant Donham's estate later denied that she made any such admission. In 2007, a majority black grand jury in Greenwood, Mississippi declined to indict Carolyn Bryant Donham, considering charges ranging from manslaughter to accessory after the fact. In the summer of 2018, the Justice Department reopened the investigation into Till's death with the discovery of new information. December 2021, the federal investigation officially closes. Now, nearly 70 years after Till's death, many more black lives have been cut short way too soon. From Carol Jenkins, killed in Martinsville, Indiana in 1968, to Eric Gardner, Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Walter Scott, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Sandra Bland, George Floyd, and Dante Wright. When you see their faces, do you see Emmett's in any way, shape, or form?
It's the same spirit that prevailed during Emmett's time. You can't help but to think about it.
70 years ago, it was a photo.
Yeah.
Now, it's cell phone video.
Yeah, and somebody spoke it years ago, I know how long ago. Pictures worth 1,000 words. And we see it in that. And if it didn't have that, those 1,000 words could not have been spoken. A lot of people say, well, all lives matter. They don't understand. And they did not live in the era I come from, when black lives, for them concerned, didn't matter. Because if you violated the Southern Border, you were gone. You could be killed. And all lives do matter. All lives are important, but they understand black lives wasn't worth a nickel, so to speak, in a sense. Laws make people behave, but it does not legislate the heart. So our people in America, in the South, they start behaving because, hey, these people prosecute you. Look what they did to Milam and Bryant. And then that case over there in Georgia, Aubrey was they will prosecute you. That don't change their spirit now. Don't change the attitude, but it make them behave better.
Baldwin said a long time ago that the only way this country could become a nation was to bridge this gap. We just have to keep trying, almost like a battering ram, you know, to just not let up. We have to rescue our own country from its backwardness, from its prejudice that's so deep. I don't know anybody who would say they were prejudiced, but I only know a few people who know our history.
Everybody reach what they sow. So tell them don't hate. And God said, vengeance is mine. Nobody gets by.
Is that what you think when you think of Carolyn Bryant?
Yeah. I wanted her to tell the truth, you know, and it's still not too late. He didn't die in vain, and that was his mother's thing. I hope you didn't die in vain. He did not die in vain, and he still speaks from the grave.
Many are still hearing the spirit of Emmett Till loud and clear. Just this week, his namesake anti-lynching bill made major headway. Dan Wakefield, the Indy native that we introduced you to, well, he just went back to Mississippi this week to retrace his steps when he covered the trial. This was his first trip back since that week in 1955. As for Wheeler, well, he'll continue to inspire many, and he'll actually be making a visit right here in Indianapolis in the fall. The Indianapolis Children's Museum is co-creating an Emmett Till exhibit along with Wheeler and the Emmett Till Center that will travel the country. And that opens up in September, and we'll bring you a little bit more about that. But believe it or not, there are still people in this story who are alive, and as Wheeler said, have the chance to tell their truth. This was a 5-part series on Emmett Till, and we made it really easy for you to go back and see parts 1 through 4. Grab your phone right now, scan that QR code on your screen. It will take you right to the Inside Story page on Wish TV. And remember, history is very important, especially when you have the opportunity to hear it from the horse's mouth.